Okay, cool. So we're recording now. So like we said before, we'll plan to make this public. If anything comes up that you think we shouldn't have on the recording, then let me know to stop the recording. We'll stop it and start it again. Otherwise,
Okay.
we'll assume we're good. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good, man.
Great to be with you, man. I'm so excited. This is really like a momentous moment. So I'm super grateful for our connection and, the opportunity to create.
Yeah, me too. There's certainly a lot of momentum. There's so much actually happening that again, I think so. I'm fasting. I'm about,
Congratulations.
yeah, I'm gonna be 5 days tonight into my fast. And it's so funny. The intuition always guides you in exactly where you need to go, because there's so much that has happened in the last 5 days that I've realized that when I know this, but it always surprises me on the effects of it and the medicinal value of it, because there's so much happening that I've been able to disengage my ego to a larger degree. Like it's everything just runs smoother is what is happening. So there's all this stuff happening around me. I'm stepping up into a leadership position with the community because there's this huge transition that's happening, and I just blossom.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Exciting.
It feels really good. It was a just complete organic blossoming that happened. And as I'm doing all this stuff, I'm working with Uniting for Action and some other projects that I'm involved with. I'm like, there's a clear reason why I was guided to fast in this moment. Like it's very obvious to me. So I feel good. I feel ready. I feel excited. I just actually locked in another client for Lightcraft, and that's that's actually this guy. So I met him. He's been a friend of mine, an associate, and I saw him recently, and he's like, man, I would really love to work with you. I'm wondering if we can do like a single day like type of thing, like a single day session. And I was like, wow, I've never really thought of that before. And then I was like, yeah, man, we can definitely make something work. And a couple days later, I sat down and just wrote out this entire offering that I can give him, and it opened up my mind to like, oh, this is why I sent you. Can you please add the sacred space holding to the flow chart, because that's exactly what we will be doing with each other. I'll be holding space for him. It opened up I can't even believe it. It was so just right there the whole time. And now it makes my heart feel so good, because now I'm like, oh, I can actually just hold space for people in a single session. And that is a beautiful offering, because I've been doing that with myself recently quite a bit. So yeah.
Amazing, dude. That's so great. I'm so excited for you and so appreciate like you said, I can relate to what you said in terms of it was right there all along, and it's just like seeing it. Like that's all of the elegant solutions, right? That's kind of the way that I see it. And as I'm coming up with all these solutions in my head, I'm like, but this is just the way like it should obviously be, right? This is like the
Right.
obvious way for things to be, right? It's just that like in our experience, when we don't see it, then it's not obvious till we conceptualize it, and then we're like, oh yeah. And it's at the end oftentimes of a creative journey, right? Or a process to be in a creative space or whatever it is. So I totally honor and appreciate your rituals for going deep and pulling things out and all that you're doing. I'm super excited for you for your fast and the results and the perfection. And yeah, it's really great to experience all of that.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And actually both of my clients right now are on a fast as well. So I think it's going to be a core recommendation I give people when they begin working with me is, at least a 3-day fast. Some people, if I feel into it and I feel that they can get to 5 days or maybe even a little longer, but basic recommendation of a 3 to 5 day fast. Because it really does do something. It clears the mind, it clears the soul, it allows you to disengage from the ego to a very large degree. There's this whole connection with food that was really hard for me to actually like that's been a discipline practice. I mean, that's like really taken some willpower to begin to master and begin to work with in a way where I feel liberated from these desires and these attachments. And understanding like how to eat without that attachment. That's a deep practice. So anyways, I think it is going to become a core kind of aspect of the Lightcraft initiation process of initially this is getting you prepared for the deep work that we're about to do. Yeah.
It's great that you're saying all of that. I really appreciate that you're sharing that. You're being in that space. It's perfect that I'm hearing it. I've been in almost like the opposite space lately, and I won't spend a lot of time on it, but I've been really like craving and indulging all kinds of like indulgent like sweets and treats and stuff like that. That is not like the way I've historically been usually. I mean, I guess I had episodes in the past of eating like ice cream regularly or something like that, but like organic chocolate chip cookies from Whole Foods have become like my number one thing lately. Like it's not a weekend if I'm not eating chocolate chip cookies. Like it's become like
Right.
part of my, so I even said it in my intro video, right? So, which is funny actually, when I thought about that was the way I interpreted what George asked about celebration. Yeah, I eat cookies when I'm celebrating, and Reese's peanut butter cups. I think I said white chocolate Reese's peanut butter cups. Those are the main. So it's really funny, what you're saying, that I've been like totally creating new, interesting, energetic, and emotional relationships around food, and as opposed to, going the other direction, like you're saying, have this disassociation, detachment, and be able to not be in that space of craving. And anyway, I could keep going on, but it's
Well,
awesome
just
where you're being.
yeah, brother. I mean, I can speak on that just a little bit, and that, I've done the same thing. There is a benefit to just indulging as well when that vibe really comes in. I mean, that's what I've noticed within myself. Actually, right before I went on to this fast, there's something that shifted within me with food, because I got some amazing food. There's this gluten-free bread that's local, and I got myself some nice tahini and like white rice, and I just indulged. Like I really like, and bananas. I really let myself, just something shifted. I really just let myself enjoy what I was eating. I didn't think about it. And that shift really did something for me as well, where it was, I realized I was going to be fasting, but there's something in that where like it just felt so good. I felt so fueled and so nourished from that experience. And there, I definitely have had my fair share of different moments where I allowed myself to indulge into things I normally wouldn't be indulging in. So I think it's all just breaking the ego a little bit, like shifting the ego, and allowing yourself to do. Sometimes the rules become too rigid, and you just need to break out of them to experience that feeling of liberation.
I appreciate that. I appreciate where you're coming from. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to share before we dive into your map and the whole process? Because I'm, totally enjoying your world and catching up. And I also want to, honor your time and what we're going to create for you. So let me
Yeah,
know.
no, I'm ready, man. Let's hit the go button and let's dive into it.
Yeah, just to give you timing, I'm going to have to be like hard stop by 8:30. So, a little over an hour from now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, because it's 7 your time. So
Yeah.
perfect.
Mhm. Okay, cool. So let me dive in and start sharing. And I'm going to give some new context today because you and I are going to start venturing into new areas, which is really exciting. So, we've got your existing mind map, and I rearranged it a little bit just for you to see. I kind of moved some things around because basically I aligned your content over here from your free online content to subscription-based online content to online courses for purchase, books for purchase, live virtual events, live in-person events. So kind of a little bit of a funnel, going in this direction. And is like using sales funnels part of like your lexicon? Is that something you've been doing or planning to do, or you studied on that?
No, I would love to hear more about that.
Okay, so let me just show you a quick graphic because it makes it much easier to understand. So
I'm going to take a little bit of notes while we do this as well.
Yeah, I'm just Googling sales funnel because they're all there. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, this is a decent one. This is a decent one. Let's just look at this one. So, okay. So this is a typical sales funnel, obviously, and they all use kinds of different words, but essentially, you know, the first step in having anybody purchase from you is creating awareness with them, right? So this is when you're prospecting and you're finding your prospects and you create awareness, whether it's through a television ad or a billboard or a referral or whatever it is, right? And then there's this discovery process, you know, where they're kind of feeling you out a bit, or they're getting information, you're providing information to them. And then there's an evaluation where, you know, they're deciding about you, you're making an offer to them, they're having some intent of possibly wanting to purchase, you're going into negotiation, and then there's a purchase where you close the deal, and then there's a loyalty, you know, how delivering the product and getting them excited and keeping them excited. So, you know, again, all sales funnels look something like this, right? So you're pouring people into the top of your funnel, and then you're working them down through a process that you're doing these types of things along the way, that you're getting eventually a purchase, and then, you know, loyalty, repurchase, that sort of thing. So any questions about that?
No, that's very clear. That makes a lot of sense. And the awareness stage would be like a lot of the free content, awareness and discovery and advertising. So.
Exactly, all those sorts of things. And that's why part of the new part of what we're talking about tonight is the channels, because the channels are going to be where people that don't even know you are going to discover you by looking for content, the type of content that you're providing, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that's part of what we're going to get into tonight, is to actually kind of like start tagging your information for channels. That's the way it's going to work with your information, your content, basically, is you're basically tagging your content where these tags themselves are essentially a channel, right? So somebody can kind of filter on that tag, see all the information that's been, you know, tagged with that. So that's what it's going to look like. So we're going to go through your whole mind map, but we're also going to start building out the Uniting for Action channel map, so that you can be telling me, you know, this is how the, you know, part of the map where I'm, you know, camping out and sharing all of my stuff, this is what it looks like. That makes sense?
Right. Yeah, it does.
You're going to help us define what all the channels are based on your content. And that's kind of where we're at with this. And that's why it's like, you know, heading west, wide open, you know, west, where are you going to plant your, you know, homestead? Right? So that's what we're going to focus on tonight. So getting back to the mind map and getting back to the sales funnel. So essentially, like you're saying, the free online content is going to be the top of your sales funnel. Essentially, like each one of these has their own sales funnel, is what it comes down to. And a lot of times, the bottom of one sales funnel enters into another sales funnel. And that's and sometimes they overlap a bit and that sort of thing. But especially when you're getting down to, you know, like let's say live in-person event, you're charging somebody, you know, $200 to show up or something like that. A lot of times it's going to be because they're coming through these other places before, you know, they're even going to consider this purchase, right? They consumed your online content, you know, maybe they've purchased something online now, like, okay, now I'm ready for an in-person event type of thing. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's where, you know, again, you'll keep defining what all of your specific products are, because what this is going to look like as well is that each one of these, you have kind of a certain profile of who these avatar clients are for each one of these, right? Like as much as you can, you want to create, you know, like an avatar for each one of what the clients, and it could be multiple client types, right? But you want to define them in categories well enough that you can speak to them in categories, right? Like I've got this type and this is what they respond to, and I've got this type and this is what they respond to, and this type wants this type of information and this type wants this type of information, right? And you want to be very specific about all of those things because, as you know, you don't want to have to sort through a whole bunch of information just to find the information that you care about, right? That's going to prevent you from paying attention, because it's going to be you're going to have to work too hard to get what you care about, right? So it puts the onus on you, the provider of the information, to do all the sorting and all the filtering and all of the figuring out, so that your communication to each one of these avatars is what they care about, and you're not trying to bring the whole world that they're not open channel to, through your communication. Make sense?
Right. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And so that's where, again, when we look at it, when it comes down to web pages, and we look at what the electric token web page looks like, then, we're defining the very specific, right? Up until now with you, what we've been talking about is different client types on your mind map, right? So there's different client types, but again, in the context of things, those client types are just one type of facilitator that you're looking for to fulfill your overall vision, right? So in some cases, it's going to be a client. In some cases, it's going to be a video editor. In some cases, it's going to be a website designer, right? There's all types of, resources, or we've, called them facilitators at the last meeting, that you could need to fulfill your vision when you're filling out the worksheet
manifestation process.
Yeah, exactly. The worksheet here. So again, we're defining who you're. Did you get a chance to look at this? Because this is new.
I have looked at it. I haven't filled it out.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. That's what we're going to do now. And we'll go through, with the new stuff pretty quickly. But again, just to tie it all together, again, for the last little bit, we've been talking about different client types that you can fill in here as facilitators, but also, again, in your bigger vision, depending upon what your vision is, especially, for Lightcraft. For Lightcraft, you have all kinds of ambitions that involve other people being involved, supporting, in different ways, right?
Right.
So that's where I want to kind of generalize the concept in your head. Sometimes it's going to be clients, sometimes it's going to be, facilitators that I'm working with to achieve the vision. Make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
And in all cases, it's still going to be, broken down to what we were just looking at, which is that you're still providing an incentive to them in order to come to some agreement, right? So it's really straightforward with clients. The incentive is, I'm going to give you whatever you're going to get from this session, from this video, from this whatever, and in exchange, you're going to give me whatever revenue I'm asking for, or whatever, you're asking for, right?
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah, very obvious there.
What's that?
And it's very obvious there. And even, it would be the opposite, for example, as I hire a media team, that they would give me the media production and the professionalism when it comes to that, delivering the results there. And I would likely be giving them financial compensation.
Exactly. So that's exactly it. So that's where, again, we're about to dive into your mind map, where what we're going to do is keep going out on the branches of the areas that you want to focus on most. And then as we're getting out onto the skinny branches, we want to be finding the different entities that we're defining, on the worksheet. So the more, of the worksheet we can fill up, the more of the specific resources that you're looking for, facilitators that you're looking for, clients that you're looking for, the more we can define, what you're offering, to them, and what you're seeking. And then also, what you're offering in terms of referrals to people that can bring you what you're seeking, right? So like, this is the end goal of our whole process, is to have as many of these defined as you can, because as you have it defined in words, basically as you're sharing it right now in our meeting, it's going to be defined in this video clip that'll accompany that, right? And this is
Right.
the beginning for you. And again, think of it this way. It's just the first draft for your refined communications with these types of groups, right? We're just like getting it all down rough today. And then, you can really package something up and get it produced and whatever if you want. Because remember, your ability to make that sale, so to speak, is based on the combination of how much you're inspiring them and how much you're incentivizing them, right? It's a combination. It's the combination of those two things. So if you don't want to have to give up more incentive, then you're probably going to have to inspire them more. And if you're, able to really inspire them, then maybe, that's going to be enough as an incentive, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think that's part of it as well in terms of I mean, I think that's going to be happening quite a bit, is really inspiring people with the message, with the energy, and then they'll really feel that. And I've had people just do things for me many times, but now I'm in a really good place with understanding healthy energy exchanges. And so it's very important for me that, okay, yes, I can inspire somebody and they can feel the energy, and I want to honor them and give them what feels good, so that they feel uplifted by the whole process. That's what Lightcraft is about. Is we're not into sleazy, parasitic relationships. We're into uplifting everybody, win-win scenarios. Everybody feels good. We all feel clear. It is, and we know what we're doing. That root chakra is activated. We feel safe and inspired.
It's really great. I love that you're a stand for all of that and you're able to articulate all of that really well. The way that I describe it and we talk about it, and I love the parallel language, is creating positive feedback cycles, with all relationships, right? And I've shared it with you before, and so this is an example that you've the whole cycle started because I started creating all of, this enough to inspire you to say, okay, I'm going to be a leadership council member. I'm going to give you $300. And now I'm providing, the mind map and all of this build out. And the idea is to provide, so much value to you that there's even more, abundance that you're receiving and value that you're receiving. And you're putting even more back into Uniting for Action. And the more you're putting back, the more you're getting out. And it's this kind of like infinite upward spiral, right? That's the way that I visualize it in my head. When I shared it with Angie, she mentioned it like in terms of the toroidal flow, which was in the movie Thrive, if you saw that movie. So some people know it by that paradigm.
Yeah, I have seen Thrive, actually. That's with the guy who he was from Procter and Gamble, right?
It could be. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah, well, anyways, I'm completely with you. And there's another project that I'm working on as well that is very aligned. And I'm writing out a white paper for that. And it actually relates to exactly what we're doing. Everything is flowing into each other. And the good thing about principles is that principles are universal. So when it comes to engaging with others, the process is always the same, no matter what hat I'm wearing, so to speak, or what hat anybody is wearing. Transparency, reciprocation, and making sure that we're all uplifting each other and uplifting the planet. That's what we're here to do.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we're on the same page. Awesome, bro. So let's dive back in and let's start building out your map. And then again, along the way, we'll start identifying different channels. We'll start identifying different resources. So have at it. Where do you want to start with this?
Cool. So let's okay, so let's look at this mind map. Well, let's just start with the free online content. You can do that.
Okay.
Cool. All right. So for the free online content, in terms of providers, it's so the distinction here is, what am I doing on my own through my own efforts, my own labor, and what am I outsourcing and delegating to others so I can free up my time. And when I'm outsourcing to others, what that entails is some type of business deal of reciprocation, whether that's through finance or through trade of some kind, trading of services. So with the free online content, what I know is needed is, so there's different kinds of free online content that will be produced. There's content that I believe that I will be recording myself, both audio and video. This will,
Does that fall in your own efforts, or is it separate?
that's own efforts. Yeah, recording audio, recording video, and that will likely, I will likely do a little bit of video editing in that. So yeah, that's a category of free content that I will likely be able to produce myself, and it won't take too much time once I just kind of get my handle on things. So that's its own whole category. That will be like videos that are 3 minutes long, you know, me just talking into a microphone and just sharing the wisdom that wants to come out of me. And that would be correlated with the sales funnel, the top two portions of the sales funnel. So let me go ahead and look up sales funnel real quick. So this free content is something that I can produce. Here we go. So awareness and interaction, yeah, leads, so on and so forth. So yeah, the top two portions of the sales funnel will be this will really, this is designed to attract people and to bring people into the field, you know, to get people's attention. And I believe that it'll be very easy for me to produce this content once I have that down. Now, one of the things that I will need, however, is somebody, is in terms of a provider, some type of kind of animated designer, so I can create a like an opening segment, if you understand what I'm saying. So like it'll be like some type of animated thing, and it'll be like light craft, right? Like
Yeah.
and then it'll go into the video that I'm doing. And the thing is that video editing is actually very cheap here. So I might just get the raw material and then just send it off to my video editor, and then they'll just continuously produce content for me. So yeah, let's throw in video editor as well in that outsourcing section. And the goal there is to get a really good video editor who is relatively, who's very affordable, but is also being paid a wage that feels really good to them. That's the good thing about being in this side of the world is you can give somebody something that feels really good to them, and it actually doesn't cost that much, relatively speaking. So that's the ideal. Okay, so free content. We have a video editor. We have an animated intro for video, somebody to design that. Let's see. I think that's pretty much it for the free content, because it involves the video recording, the audio recording, which I have the equipment for that. Business deals with editors and designers on like a video, audio, and digital level. And then at that point, the video should be polished, and then it's just a matter of uploading. So yeah, I mean, I might hire, one of the things here is I might hire a personal assistant to help me with basically, if I have 5 videos that need to be uploaded, I can just talk to my assistant and say, hey, these 5 videos are finished. Can you please go through the process of uploading them? Yeah. And then I'd have to decide on who's creating the description for the videos. It might be maybe I don't know, maybe the description is important, maybe it's not, maybe there'll be a generic description. And then maybe some of them will be more catered to the audience You know, it's important for me that if I have anybody writing descriptions for myself or writing anything that is, you know, a text-based message to my audience, that they're really on a vibe, and you know, they're really like, they're really in the energy, they really understand it, they're using the right words, they're using the right energy, they're feeling that energy of the light. That's really important. So it will be a process to, if I do have anybody that kind of writes things for me, they will have to embody that energy, and I will have to feel that trust in my heart, that I can trust them to carry out that part of the business. So initially, it'll likely be myself creating all of that, which I'm happy to do. That shouldn't take me long. Things happen really fast with me when I know what I have to do. Right. Oh, right. So that's a whole nother thing, is free online content is actually, there's written content as well. This is Instagram. This is there's going to be TikTok as well. So we can include the social media pages. And there'll be a Lightcraft website as well that will have some written content that people can get involved in. You know, it's funny because it almost feels like websites are somewhat outdated. And so what I see there is that the website has to be really unique, and really, like, it has to really be a really, really high vibe energy to attract people to get in. And I think that is accomplishable. I think that it's accomplishable to have a very unique website that when people come into the Lightcraft, that, you know, they see me on Instagram, they see me on TikTok, and they're like, whoa, what's going on here? And then they go to the website, and the website is like a temple. The website is like, you come into the website and it's like the colors, the energy, the texture, the photos, videos, media content, and the offerings are all there, and it's very clean, very precise. So yeah, I sense that with the website, I'm really seeing the website as something very unique. Otherwise, it just doesn't seem, it's not worth doing, really. It has to be something that has a very high energy. And the website will include, yeah, I mean, it'll basically just be a beacon of that energy. So it'll be a hub where Lightcraft is situated, and people can engage with the energy there. So okay, so for social media,
That's great. And I'm glad that you're going into those details about those things. Let me just share this because it's coming to me in this moment, so I feel like I should share it, which is, you'll consider it more and more as you keep seeing it, that a lot, I think, from what I'm seeing in this moment, that you know, a lot, if not all, of the content that you're going to be creating, you're going to be using the underlying uniting for action structure that I'm describing, with all the channels and all the everything that we're doing, to have people be able to find your content, to follow the branches out, for it to all be interconnected, for it to be connected into this whole ecosystem. So again, not that you're not going to have that content out in all those other places too, like we've talked about, but I'm just thinking that when you talk about, you know, the vibe of the temple and how you want people to experience, that's actually how we want to build your uniting for action pages, right? Because really people will be engaging with your content in this temple essentially, right? So we're not, you know, we're a little ways in development sophistication away, but actually not really, because really, you know, potentially for the same money that you're hiring somebody to build a website from scratch, you can pay somebody to build, you know, a temple experience around the presentation of your information here, right? So again, I'm just kind of throwing that out there because over time, that's where we're going with it, right? Like all brands will have their brand, you know, when you show up on their channel, it's their brand, right? As if it is their website. So we're headed towards that kind of customization. It's just obviously there's a lot of automation, a lot of stuff that needs to go in to be able to provide a platform that allows for that kind of customization in a convenient, easy kind of way, right?
Yeah, absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. And as you're saying that, this is something that's been becoming more and more obvious to me, is that because I'm involved with like the Purpose Alliance, for example, I'm involved with Uniting for Action. I'm sure there's a couple other things there that I can list, that all these different and my own Instagram, my own personal kind of social media tree, that all of these things are going to attract people from different areas of the world, different mindsets, different cultures, different consciousness. And it's all funneling back to the core, which is the services being offered and myself and actually engaging with me. So that I love that. I'm so excited to build out the Uniting for Action page, as well as build out all these other things. Because once all these things are running, then like we were talking about with systems, the system is very efficient. There's all these different attractor points that, somebody might not come to Uniting for Action. They might find me through TikTok or something like that. There's the people on TikTok. I mean, that's a whole ecosystem that I haven't even engaged with really, but it's like, it's clearly its own unique thing going on.
As you're
So,
hearing from Kat, yeah, Kat is way into TikTok. So yeah.
right. And at the same time, there's many people in the Uniting for Action field that would never find me through anywhere else. They're focused on other things and they engage with you, and then the energy moves, and then it's like, yo, check out Dana's thing with Lightcraft, check out Dana's profile. And the next thing I know, there's a whole kind of energy stream that's coming from Uniting for Action. So I'm very excited about all of this. This is so cool. It's so fun. Yeah, it's really cool. So
Awesome. Yeah, I appreciate that you're feeling all of that. I'm feeling it with you, bro. We're riding that wave.
yeah.
Awesome.
It's actually funny you say that. That's a meditation that I've done in moments where I'm just feeling really good. One of the spontaneous visualizations that has come to me is like riding the wave perfectly and feeling that energy, because it's like what those visualizations do is it allows you to find that balance point where you're like really surfing the wave, right? And so this is like one example. You can even, I'm in my mind right now, I'm seeing somebody on one of those like high beams, or like an acrobatic on one of the slack lines, right? You can do these visualizations and imagine you're in perfect balance, and even imagine that there's that guy that did that in New York between the towers. Like, so you can do these visualizations, and it really helps. So anyways, I appreciate the visual. Let us continue.
Yes, let's keep riding the wave. Awesome. I appreciate
Yeah.
that. It's great. Okay, cool. So yes, please continue.
Okay, so let's see. Free online content, that all looks very good. I'm trying to understand. I mean, along with that, a website designer is going to be needed for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I might be able to create something on my own, but in order to make it like super, super high vibe, like really, really good, getting a website designer would be great.
Yeah, so actually, so this should be down under outsourcing the whole website, right?
Yeah, I think so. Okay, what else here? So I would say, I mean, business consultant is coming to mind. I have quite, I'm even receiving that here through you, and through Uniting for Action. I'm receiving it through George, and the way that him and I are coming together. So just having that's part of it is consultation on business. Consult just to have ideas flow and get more good ideas coming in, making it
Where are
kind
you
of a
where are you wanting to put that? I'm not clear where you're saying.
I think that would be kind of outsourcing, right? Like the general outsourcing category. Yeah.
I see that you're soliciting business consulting.
Yeah.
Got it.
Cool. Okay, let's see. What more for free online content? Oh, music. So music, Yeah, there we go. Purpose Alliance, Uniting for Action.
Others.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and put my friend's Lion in there as well. We'll just say
Lion or
Li. Yeah, I haven't talked to him about this, but I would like to come in some type of energy exchange with him because he's on the level for sure, and he's got a very functioning business. In a similar, he's a coach, so we're kind of in the similar field in some ways. Okay. So the next thing for outsourcing is music production. Music production. Yeah. And, so one of the things I've realized is that with the other guy that's in the Purpose Alliance who shared his music, and there's one song that is entitled See the Light. And when I first heard that, it really moved me. And I keep seeing that song is going to be a song that I feature in a lot of my free content. Maybe that'll be a part of the intro section to my videos, so I would like to connect in with him. His name, I believe, is Daniel. Let's see. Yeah, Daniel is his name. Daniel Simmons, Simons. I don't know if we want to include that here, but that is what his name is.
It's your
Yes.
map to follow. So map out everything that you want to be able to show to people.
Right. Yeah, as specifically as possible. That's really important, is to be specific. Okay, what else? Free online content. Yeah, I know a part of the free online content is then going to be inviting people to come deeper into one-on-one coaching and all the other services. So the online content will be a gateway. I don't know if we can if that's something that we can add here. But it'll serve as a gateway to come into the Lightcraft temple, so to speak. And I mean, and a service to humanity as well, just to uplift people. That's a big part of free online content is, yeah, to offer it as an offering to humanity, to uplift them without any desire actually for reciprocation, but more as a gift. Like, here is my offering, here is my heart, my soul, and the song that I'm singing, and I genuinely hope that people are uplifted by it, and it increases the value of their day. It increases the energy of their day, and it allows them, it motivates them to go and produce with the light. So it's also purely in service of the light of God. So that's also very important, that that's where a lot of this is being done from as well. So definitely juggling these two concepts of complete service to the light, as well as in offerings, as well as energetic reciprocations and reception of blessings, basically reception of that love that I'm giving out through finance and through experiences and so on and so forth. The free online content will also be advertising me to other high level people, where when they see the content, when they see the content, they will want to invite me to their events to be a speaker, to be a keynote speaker or a presenter or something like that. And let's see, there's something else that just came to me there. So yeah, to be a keynote speaker, it'll invite me there. Oh, right. So the content itself is to be very high quality. It's to really be, yeah, there we go. It'll be that's the whole thing, is that I can record on my phone and I can have these types of videos, and I might do that a little bit, if I have like a TikTok or something, like I might have channels where it's more like of a candid thing, but the bulk of my content is to be, as it's front facing, is to be high definition, 720 1080 video, high quality audio, high quality camera shots, inspirational, passionate, sexy, enticing, exciting, ecstatic. These are these are, there you go. Exciting, ecstatic, inspiring, sexy, sensual, heartfelt, meaningful, and impactful. That when people watch the content, it really, really stands out to them. It's like, whoa, what did I just watch? Like, this guy, he's really making a difference. He's really on the level. He's really speaking the truth, because there's no attachment here. It's just unleashing the energy that transcends all desire, basically. Like, I'm not here to prove anything. I'm here to just speak the truth that wants to come through me, and it requires no kind of outside validation, but it's something that's deeply felt within people, that when they view the content, it's like, okay, this is for real, and I would like to get involved in this. It inspires people to get involved, and to create a movement, basically, a global movement of lightcraft. That's what we're going here for. That's where people take this information into their homes, into their schools, into their workplaces, and they refuse to play superficial games any longer. They that emergence starts happening out of them, and we meet in that place of consciousness emergence, that it becomes embodied. They start breaking through the ego a bit and expressing themselves, truly expressing themselves, how they feel, what they think, what they're thinking, embodying those emotions, while learning how to do this in a genuine way that is heartfelt and creates more connection to those around them, to be that pillar of light within their own community. That's what we want, the pillar. And that, to me, that actually is inspiring some type of offering, something to do with like the pillar, like maybe it's a course, to the pillar of light, becoming the pillar, something like that, where the whole course is about being a pillar within your community. Yeah. And also, this is very playful as well, to learn how to play and connect to the inner child, and to pay special attention to the children as they're raising in consciousness, to train them in the ways of discipline, of awareness, train them in the ways of knowing their own self, and respecting their individual autonomy, and holding space as they grow up into their own consciousness, as they come together. So understanding how to hold our triggers, trigger management. So this is, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to pause you for a moment, and you can keep going on this if you want, because you're doing a great job, as you can see, of getting a lot of content out and structuring your content, but it's not necessarily going to get us the specific, facilitators we're looking for and clients. You get what I mean? You're like off into a content tangent now. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
so I'm just So I'm just going to pull us back so we can, refocus a little bit on the, the people and profiles we want to identify, and the offers you're going to make to them, and the referrals you're going to get, and that sort of thing. So again,
perfect.
I was enjoying it. I was diving in. I was right there with you, but all of a sudden I'm thinking, wait a second, how am I going to get this on the web page? And that's not, not in this context. We're not going to, focusing on all of
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. So let's get it back to that level.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm open to suggestions as well, but what I'm seeing is okay, so what can be provided? What am I seeking? Energy exchanges, deals. I would love to be a speaker at different events. So whatever providers are entailed in that, and whatever exchanges are entailed. So I don't know who I need, who I would speak to, or how that would work. But I would like to be paid for this as well. Of course, I would like to be paid to come. And I suppose that would be the industry exchange, is the value that's seen within myself, and being paid to come and speak. And being, if I'm flying out anywhere, that my plane ticket is paid for, I'm flown out, I'm paid, and that end of things is taken care of. Okay, let's see here. Okay. Can you just scroll a little bit so I can see some more of this? Okay. I see. Okay. Again, so a lot of these things, okay, so for like online courses for purchase, I will need a media team, 100%. That'll be a full media team production. Where
Yeah,
it's
let me create a little more context to where we're going with all of this so we can be, most productive with it. I think
yeah.
also, one thing for you and I to talk about a little bit, I think also, especially what you're saying in terms of your video editing costs there and everything, I think you're going to be doing this at the moment going forward with the self-service option, right? Basically, or internal with your team in terms of chopping up the video and creating the content on the pages and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah.
So the like I'm thinking in my head, we'll talk it out a little bit because this is where I'm trying to, accelerate this process of getting these pages built in an automated way. That's where I'm going with it, so that you can have a user interface to drop in, this title, and drop in this title, and drop in this description, and drop in your video, code. And then you're basically building pages through the user interface. Eventually, I forget if I mentioned to you, but as soon as we can, and I just don't know how soon I can do this, but I've got it in my head conceptually, I want the pages to get built from the mind map itself. So I have to find a mind map system that allows me to program these along with the other things. So basically, I'm programming mind maps and I'm programming the pages, and they're connected programmatically. Makes sense? So
Yeah.
that as we're building out on the mind map, basically what it's doing is it's automatically populating the page with the sections and the titles and that sort of thing. And then it's just a matter of dropping in the, the video and the content and that sort of thing. So I'm, working on getting this automated system up as quickly as I can. What you're going to be doing, at the moment, is you're going to be, getting back to exactly what we were just talking about, mapping out as much as you can on the worksheets from the mind map. And then what I'm going to do, first of all, like this is like the first thing I'm going to program, is to give you an interface to just enter these bullets, enter these bullets, and enter these bullets. Because that's basically, that's the part that changes in all of this. That's how we keep it so systematized. Is you're just entering bullet, 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 and then it just shows up on the page this way. So I'm going to give, and in a way, you're actually looking at two different apps. I've been processing how all of this is working. So this strip right here, what we're seeking, what we're offering, and earn for referrals, that's the referral system right there, right? And if you saw row after row of this, that's like your referral page of all of the different referrals that you're looking for from anybody about anything. And that's one system by itself, the referral system. Now what we're doing is we're integrating the referral system into this page of content system, right? And that's a separate system. So again, I'm breaking up how to like build out these systems so that they're each kind of like apps working together with the information in a coordinated way, and just layering app after app after app within this like operating system that's holding all the apps and collecting all the information. You get what I'm saying? So yeah. I'm just giving you a kind of behind the scenes look into how all of this is coming together, since it's coming together like in real time, trying to serve you, as quickly as possible as everybody. And as you and others are showing up and are interested and are, ready to go, obviously that makes it even that much more easy to find, people who have resources and, sponsors that have resources, and whoever has resources that would be willing to build this out, knowing the demand that's there and the attention that they're going to get. And this is the whole like chicken egg, how we, spin all the plates at the same time to get it all to work together, right? So I'm just, again, saying that for a moment, because again, as we come back into the mind map, what I want you to be thinking about is how do we like outline all of this in ways that you can create, value out of it as quickly as possible. And one of the main ways is for you to like, even for what we already did, like video editor, personal assistant, description, right, whatever it is, like as much as you want and as much as you're ready to, either now or you put it on your to-do list, you're going to give like a 30-second or a 1 minute or a 2 minute, like, this is who I'm looking for this, right? And then later you can fill out, and here's what I'm offering, for that, because that doesn't have to necessarily be on the video unless you're ready with that. That can be those bullet points, right? And then here's what I can offer to somebody who's referring that, right? So again, that's essentially the to-do list for this, to take everything on the mind map and package it, in video content, and then it becomes also written content on the page. So we just want to use, the next 20 minutes that we have left together to, get as much usable video content as you can about all the needs that you have, because then your video editor is going to be able to chop that up, and now you've got the foundation for these pages, right? Clip after clip after clip for all of the different specific types of needs that you have. And again, we don't even have to do that today, now that that's the process, and you can do that on your own anytime. But again, I'm just I want to make sure that I'm giving you the whole complete picture, and exactly, how and where to spend your time in order to maximize translating from this mind map into these web pages, into these descriptions that now you can share out onto social media and with your network and with the leadership council and all of that. Like, I need this person, and I need this person, I need this person. And you've incentivized everybody to support you in filling all of those needs. Make sense?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool. Any questions or comments or anything about all of that?
No, I don't think so. I think it's just me sitting down right now. I'm writing down what I can offer providers and what I can offer referrers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems, and that all makes sense. And I love it.
Yeah, cool. And it's going to change, for different ones of these as well, right? And that's where, you might have some standard packages that you're offering, incentives, and good to know, what all of them are. And, for different categories, it may be different incentives and different packages and that sort of thing. And that's where you have to just kind of figure out, where does it change, right?
Right.
Okay, cool. Good. Yeah, so now that we've said all of that, I think, again, think about, as you're looking at all of these things, where you want to spend time either continuing to go deeper, or which one of these you want to dive into, to just start exploring, or how do you feel like we can best, utilize the time in the most productive way for you right now?
Right. So first, can we just put Lightcraft in the center, like underneath my name? Because this whole thing is Lightcraft. You
Oh,
see?
okay.
Yeah. Um, cool. And then how to best utilize the next let's say 15 minutes or so. Um, well, I suppose it's about what am I actually offering right now in real time? That seems to be the logical way to go. And that is going to be free online content, one-on-one personal work. The courses will come, the books will come, the virtual events are happening. So that is something. But so virtual events would be marketers.
Yeah,
That
I think to follow on with what you're just saying in terms of following what you're currently offering and what your current revenue streams are, let's definitely look at where we can make the most immediate impact in your current revenue stream, because then, again, creates that positive feedback cycle, right? Oh, because of the work that I did with Uniting for Action, I got $3,000 more this month. So now I've got, this budget to put back in and keep, expanding and expanding, right?
Right, absolutely. So current revenue streams, I mean, I think the biggest one is going to be the one-on-one personal work, gaining one-on-one clients.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to that's where the 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 money, the revenue is the biggest flow is going to be coming from.
Yeah,
So let's talk about that.
exactly.
Um, okay. So again, business consultation. I already I already am receiving this, however, through Uniting for Action and through the Purpose Alliance and George's work. So I'm not sure if I need any more. Um, I feel quite good with what I'm receiving, but I'm open to anything that is coming as well. So um what I can offer there is definitely an energy exchange of exchanging my services for business consultations, um, exchanging one-on-one work with people who are consulting me with business. That's part of a trade offer that I can do, as well as with the level of business consultation that I am seeking and deserve. It's I think the exchanging of my services is more value than the financial exchange that I can currently offer. I see that as much more valuable than a couple $100 that I can currently put on the table for that. Yeah, absolutely. Marketing is a big part of this, the one-on-one personal coaching, and that's the referral process. So boom, here we go, referrals. Uh Referrals, what we're doing in the Purpose Alliance is 20% of any deals that go through. I think that's a I think that's a pretty good incentive because the design that has come to me for one-on-one personal work is a 4-month container for 10,000 US dollars. And 20% of 10,000 is, what is that, $2,000? Is that right? So
Yeah, but that
that's,
does that doesn't go to the person that made the referral. That's to the Purpose Alliance. It's 7% for the person that made the referral.
oh, I see. Okay, so yeah, even at 7%, then that would be um
$700.
$700. Yeah. So we can do a I mean, what is your take on this? Should we stay at 7%? That feels quite good. I mean, if somebody shares my work, they send me a client, this client is wanting to sign on with me, that person gets a $700 bonus for doing something, really positive. Like it's a really positive energy exchange. That feels quite good, right? I
Sure.
think if I was passionate about somebody's work and I was like, yo, talk to my buddy Jared, and then it's just service, right? It's just flow. So I'm not wanting people to go out there and break their backs about it. I want the energy to be very kind of clean and very natural, organic. So yeah. So with referrals, I mean, the yeah, 7% sounds good. Yeah, it's a really
and also just to keep in mind in terms, I think you already know this in terms of Uniting for Action, but I just want to be clear, just to make sure that you are clear about the percentages. So for any business that comes to you through Uniting for Action, if you're participating in the referral system, then it's 15% that you're providing, 10% to the person that makes the connection, right? 10% referral commission, 2% to the person that signed them up, 1% to the person that signed that person up, and 2% to the Uniting for Action system to keep building it out. So we talked about those percentages before, right? But I just want to be clear that that's all really clear with you.
Yeah, well, thank you for making that very clear. And that's all within the 15%. And those numbers that you just listed are divvied up within the 15%. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's where, again, it's just a matter of everyone knowing that in advance, pricing it in however is necessary for everyone to be able to make the system work for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah, that feels so good. I'm so happy with that. That feels great. That's all of us truly helping each other. That's working as a team. That is amazing. I really like that. Cool.
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, the one-on-one personal work. Yeah. So what else? I mean, marketing, advertising is a big one, because it's basically like funneling the right people to me, the people who can afford the services, the people who are ripe for the services, the people who resonate the most and have the money and are happily giving. The client that I just locked in is exactly what that is, for this one-on-one single day session. He's enthusiastic. He has the capital. It's all good. It's all good on all fronts. Yeah, enthusiastic, is ready, is at a place where they are ready to go deep within themselves. They have a commitment to growth. Yeah. The ideal client, this is actually really good. It's really good that I'm thinking about this right now. George has been very good at this because he's so open. So being very open about one's personal conflicts, complications, things that they want to analyze, things that they do not enjoy about the way that their own personal system of life is operating, things that come up continuously, so that we can analyze those and re-engineer what is going on. Okay, so as far as the business end of things, what else is needed? Right now I don't have very much content out there currently. That's something that I'm building. That's a process of building more content. So I feel that a lot of my clients right now will come to me through referrals, and through just kind of spontaneous interactions of interaction. Yeah. Do you Yeah, exactly.
The only thing I would say is if there's more to share here, because this is basically what you're putting in the hands of your referrers, right? Because this is what you're sending them looking for, or them thinking of amongst the people that are in their network, right? Like you're giving them a really tight description of like, who's your perfect client? Do you know any of these? If you know any of these, then send them to me and I'll give you, some of this.
Right. Okay. So what I'm seeing in my mind is a family man. I'm seeing like a husband who's a businessman who wants to optimize his life. You know, he's gotten to a good point, but there's some stagnation that's occurring, and he wants to enliven his life. He wants to reignite the passion in his life. He wants to break through some barriers. He's done well, but it's time to upgrade. That is an ideal client that I see. That is somebody who I would love to work with. They're doing good. You know, maybe they have kids, they have a wife, maybe they even have a dog, and they're a businessman. They're forward facing. But it's time to break through some barriers. It's time. Let's see if there's anything else with that. And of course, this man is already successful in his own right. Financially speaking, he's successful, but he's ready to dive deeper into his emotions. He's ready to get to know himself on a deeper level. He's built up his castle to a degree, and now, you know, this is a spiritual enterprise now. It's kind of seeing the mystery of life a little bit more, peeling back the veil a little bit more, facing fear a bit more. Yeah, this is the type of man that I would love to work with, and I'm calling in absolutely. And multiple people like this. I think this might be important. Is I'm looking to gain 3 clients within the next 3 months, which seems very doable. Yeah, 3 that let's yeah. 3 clients. I mean, 4 would be like icing on the cake, so to speak. But the goal is 3 clients, and ideally, actually, it would be 4 clients. Cool. Okay. Who else? Again, let's say a woman who has the money, but is looking to, I keep feeling, looking to get her romantic life in order, is ready to kind of find a man who can truly take care of her. Looking to attract a man who is stable and mature and emotionally intelligent. Looking to attract a man who is successful and is purpose driven. Who is looking to get into her own confidence more and carry herself with more light, with more connection within herself, and who seeks to be a light for her family. She might be a mother. She might be a widow. She has lost somebody and is ready to move forward in life and go through, you know, really process that grief and come out the other side looking towards the sun with excitement. So this is actually almost, yeah, this is almost not a different service, but this is a big part of the service that is becoming open to me right now, is helping people process major life transitions, such as deaths of people close to them. So helping that transitionary process along. Cool. Let's see. Okay. Another ideal client is a young, successful person. A young person who is successful. This person is ambitious. They have that fire of youth running through them, and they're ready to change the world. But they need help with their patterns. They need help with their discipline. They need help to see things more clearly, to help them upgrade, to, cultivate a healthy ego. So they can maximize their results and maximize their growth. Ambitious has a typo there, by the way. Let's see. This young person is probably fresh out of college, or a young startup CEO, something like that, that can use personal coaching to ensure the longevity of their project, to ensure that their systems are operating smoothly. This is systems guidance as well, because a project is only as good as the person who is leading it and the people who are involved with it and are moving it forward, whether that's multiple people leading it from different fronts or whatnot. So this is optimization of the psyche to optimize the project. So yeah, young, successful person, female or male. Yeah, working with both sexes, it feels quite good. Okay, so next client would be somebody even younger, but their family is willing to pay for their coaching. So this is like a teenager. This is like somebody who is 15 or 16 or 17 years old, where they are, they're a promising person, they're a shining light, and they have some type of family around them, probably some type of caretaker or guardian who wants to set them up to be as successful as possible. And I can work with these young people one-on-one as well, to help them, guide them in the right direction, to help guide them in the right direction, so that they are mature, they become self-sufficient, they become clear within themselves. They have that transition from adolescence into adulthood. Yeah, this is a transitionary phase. So this is transitionary coaching from being taken care of by society, being taken care of by your family, not having to, because this is the normal culture in America and in many places of the world, where you're not actually working so much for what you're earning. So this transitionary phase is really quite important and can skyrocket a person, and can help them save a lot of time, so that we can basically delete and reprogram the programs that would stop the person from being self-sufficient, earning money, having a mature mindset, engaging with the world in a healthy way. So this is a whole nother section of one-on-one coaching that I can advertise, is transitionary coaching. And that's for adolescents, to adulthood, as well as through death processes. So I'm really happy that we're going through this, because those are actually very important processes to be able to go through, and it can really help to have somebody who is a coach through that, and somebody who has the wisdom and the guidance to help that process along. So yeah, this is somebody who may be going into college, may not be, but they're kind of in that phase where they're coming into their adulthood. They're about to be making some major decisions in their life. And they're about to be, flying away from the nest, so to speak. And so their family wants them to have the best footing possible, to think clearly.
That's
Um,
great. That's
yeah.
great. I think you're, and I know there's more for you too, still, which is awesome. And I gave you the link now where you can edit this yourself, right? You want to give it a test and make sure you can get in
Oh,
there and do that.
yeah. So let's check it out. Okay.
And yeah, because you'll just keep, doing this like you're doing, but now you're in this flow where you're really doing these good descriptions. And now this is where you can see on the web page where it'd be like row after row of these really good descriptions of what you're looking for, right?
Right.
And all the ways that you're kind of simply, putting it, you're going to soon have your list like, you know, young person, young CEO, businessman, whatever, all these different avatars, right? And
Exactly.
and then you've got the video description next to them so people know what that avatar looks like for you. And here's what I can offer when you bring me one of these. And it makes it
Yeah.
really clear and simple and easy for people to know what you want and what you're going to give to them and get from them and what you're going to be able to offer for them to bring it to you, right?
Right.
So
Absolutely.
I think, I think we've done a really great job today, as much ground as we've covered and as much as you really internalize this. And I'm really excited, for you to take all of this and now to actually create, what we've been talking about. I'm especially, excited that you're essentially going to be showing the world how to use the system in a, internally managed way, because that's what we want to show the world, that people can do, right? So
Mhm.
there's going to be the self-service, there's going to be the full service. You're going to really show people how far you can really take the self-service model, so to speak, right? So I'm super excited, to support you with that. And like I said, to program these functionalities as quickly as I can so that, we can actually build out these pages with this content as quickly as possible.
Right. Yeah, it's beautiful. Thank you so much. This was such a fun exercise. And these avatars are now becoming so clear in my mind and it feels so good in my heart. I as I as I kind of discussed all this and opened up those channels, man, it just felt so good to imagine myself working with, a young person, for example, or when I tapped into the energy of somebody like a widow, and really helping her see the light and see like, it's okay. And it actually makes me emotional. Like it's like, I really feel so good about working with these people. And I'm so excited to gain the referrals and to open up those channels of having these people come to me and then actually being able to pick and choose who am I most aligned with, who really is most aligned with this work, and then giving that energy exchange and going through that transformation with them, you know.
Yeah, that's really, really awesome. And then, if I may share, because you know where my mind goes, is like, I'm so grateful that he's serving those individuals, and how can we systematize that so he can serve many more? So, for
Exactly.
you to somehow be capturing, and categorizing that content as you're working with these individuals. And I don't know how you do it in your realm, but I want to plant the seeds of you, seeing if there are ways to to have clients that are allowing you to use content from, working with them, basically, right? I don't know which clients you might have that like would be totally open, yeah, use it all or whatever, or somehow you're anonymizing it or whatever you're doing, but somehow the actual work itself, as you know, is going to have impact for people, right? Even if
Exactly.
it's like snippets and stuff for people to really like get a sense of what does it look like for him to be working with me and all of that. And even,
Right.
just testimonials from people and all of that. But you're really, again, I'm going to keep showing up, like loving that you're going deep with all these people. And it's like, well, how can him working with that one person serve the million other people that person's an avatar for, right?
Absolutely.
So
Yeah. Yeah, I think a big part of that is just simply making the person anonymous, when they sign on, that the sessions will be recorded, but they're completely anonymous, and maybe like giving them the choice too, like, hey, you will be completely anonymous. Nobody will ever know, who you are or anything like that. but this work can also be deeply impactful for others. And would you mind? Because then we can just splice up. That can be so rich for media content and media creation and production. So
Exactly. And that's where, like you're saying, and again, I'll plant these seeds with you and then I've got to run, but that's where, you can have different versions of your contract because there's extra benefit for you when people are, allowing you to do these things, especially if they're willing to go like on camera, like with their face and be like a public champion for you.
yeah,
That you can offer, discounts, or you can offer extra, or you can offer whatever incentives you're offering to them in exchange for the value they're going to be giving for you in order to help you use the content that you're working with them, right? So just keep in mind that's, again, part of the whole game is like, somebody's got something of value to me, what can I offer them so that I get the, and always looking for that highest level exchange, right?
exactly. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Looking for the highest level exchange. I love that you said that. So thank you. And yeah, I want to be mindful of your time as well. I thank you so much for this meeting. And when would you like to meet next? When shall we do that?
Um, I'm going to need to take some time to process at the moment. And I think, good to see like where you start going with this. I want to kind of have our conversation. Well, it's going to start to be on Slack, right? Because we'll start to also make that conversation open to others so they can see what you're doing with this and how you're doing it. And I'm answering questions and giving you guidance. And we'll just kind of step by step see what it's going to start looking like. And then we'll kind of see, maybe sometime later next week, or, I'm not sure. I want to kind of feel into it and let you feel into it and let it flow for a little bit and see. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds great. And just our next leadership council meeting is on the 1st. It would be Tuesday, your time?
No, it's always 8 p.m. Monday. So that's going to be 9 a.m. Tuesday for you. It's always
Okay.
the first and the third Monday.
Okay, perfect. Cool. And the last thing is I will send you the rest of the finance very soon.
Yeah, thank you for what you've been doing to expedite it. I really appreciate it. It's really made an impact and I'm grateful. So thank you so much for doing that.
Cool. Yeah, I'm happy to hear that, and I'll get you the rest very soon.
Yeah, thank you, my brother. I'm really excited about all of this. As you can see, we didn't get as much into what I was sharing in terms of like the channels and the tags and all of that, but I think this was all really important work for you to get, your mind in a lot of these places. And now you can start to do that, with me as well. Like I've been just thinking, how do we, so the support section is going to be its own section of the website, right? Like we talked about the other day. I've got to hustle because I've got to get to the store by 9 p.m. before it closes. So let me just show you this and then run. Okay. So as we talked about in the leadership council meeting the other day, I've obviously been focusing a lot on solutions up to this point. Now we're going to start building out this whole section of the website that's going to be the support section that's going to have people like you and Burge and all of these people that are providing support, Paloma, all these people that are providing support to people. And I'm still trying to figure out how to structure that whole section, how to present it, how to present everybody and what they're doing and that sort of thing. I'm thinking about, do we divide it up into something like mind, body, spirit? Like what are the top level categories that we use? How do those categories get broken down? So again, right. I'll just kind of leave it with you for your homework to just kind of, give me a tree of what your tree looks like. What are your top levels? What are the levels inside of there? What, if you're creating channels, what does your channel structure look like, where all of your content's going to be filling out all of those branches?
Right. And real quick, when you say channels, can you just define that for me?
Yeah, so it's really simple. It's a common interest that people have, so again, let's just look at, even for what we just talked about, let's talk about like the death transition, right? So, death is going to be its own channel. And within death, there's going to be like coping, aspects or something like that, right? And then within coping, there's going to be a channel for like, energy work, and another one for like whatever. So, it's drilling down and drilling down and drilling down. But when you have the coping for the death, it's also going to be, coping for this and coping for that. And so, you're going to be able to follow the branches down the tree and then up the tree as well. And it's non-linear because things are going to be multiply branched and all of that. So it gets very multi-dimensional. And actually, I'll send you the information for action system that I really built out in detail, like 2 years ago now. And that gets into even more like detailed, like understanding of what we're doing with all the branching and the information and that sort of thing.
Right. Perfect. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. And yeah, I'm very excited about all of this, as even these the death transition piece, I can see so much content being created just on that, and kind of programs specifically tailored to that. So
And
yeah,
Angie actually has brought that up. You haven't connected with Angie yet, right? You said you hadn't. So Angie, you guys will meet each other probably at the next Leadership Council meeting. She has specifically spoken about how, the work she's doing with her sacred temple is really designed to support people in all transitions of life, coming into the world, leaving the world, all of that. So you guys will be able to connect on that level as well.
Perfect. Yeah, I'd love to connect with her on it.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Awesome, bro. I appreciate you. I'm so grateful, very grateful for everything we're creating, and onward and upward.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. All right. See you, bro.
All right.
Be great.
Bye.
All right. Have a good one. Talk to you soon.